So let's welcome Conrad Wrobel.
Hi. Good morning, Vietnam. I always wanted to say that. I grew up here. I was born and raised on this island, and some of you know me, some of you don't. But it's really cool to be an islander. I'm so happy to be here tonight. I'm so happy they let me on stage again. Much to your dismay. But it's so cool being an islander because you get to go off island, you get to tell people, I'm from an island. And they say, wow, what was it like growing up on an island? Cold. Well, what was it like going to school on an island? Cold and wet. What was it like, what was your favorite time of school? What was your favorite part of school? Leaving? I kid, I loved going to school. I thought we have a great school system. But you have to understand, leaving is really an important thing to kids of that age, especially in high school, because there's something we take for granted. Driving. That's right, that's when they start driving, right? 3 o'clock, stay off the sidewalks. But I loved it, because as soon as that bell rang, I was out there, I was in my car, I put on my Space Jam soundtrack, revved the engine, and drove out like, yeah. And it wasn't because I had a killer bass. It's because we have potholes. And then began the years of bad car luck. I have horrible luck with cars. My first car was not that car. It was a 66 Malibu station wagon, which is the equivalency of a Crimson tank. Okay? And we inherited it, and my mom said, well, I was about 15, 14 at the time, go learn to drive. Okay. Well, it was a manual with 4 gears, only 2 of which went forward. But I learned to drive. I figured out that if I turn the ignition while it's in first gear, without the clutch, and rev the gas, it would get going. Sometimes. Correct? The septic system. But I got it working. And from that, I learned how to replace a transmission. My second car was a 1988 Chevy Celebrity, golden. Well, first time I got a girl into it, blue piston. I think I was a little more excited than I was at the time. And from that experience, I learned the purpose of adding engine oil. And pistons, incidentally. And my third car was a 1990 black Jeep Cherokee hardtop. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I felt awesome driving it, this car. And one night I'm driving someone home, it's dark, and they give me that sudden, turn right here. So I did. They meant turn left here. So I went through a ditch and into a field. Nothing was hurt, but I learned that Jeeps have really good clearance. So I had some fun after that. 2 weeks later, the door fell off. Fourth car was a white Toyota Camry hatchback thing. First time I drove it was over to Pullman, where I went to school at WSU. Go Cougs. And I drove it there, and I drove it back. Almost. That particular event strongly encouraged me to learn the rest of the engine. Starting with the radiator and what coolant is. I learned about 50 miles upriver of Portland in the middle of the night. With another girlfriend who was not impressed. So after that, my mom just decided to loan me her car for a little while. Which, the make and model is incidental, but one night I'm driving over towards Kilbrew Lake and there's a I call it a dir, because that's what's going on in their mind. Especially when it's the one kind of Hey guys, you see that? Yeah, it's still coming. It's pretty cool. Oh, good, it missed us. So I drove the car into the ditch. Took away the dirt. It damaged the front end a little bit. But what I learned from that is your insurance literally told me if I hit the dirt, they would have given me more money for the damages. Huh? But I learned that. So that car taught me to aim. Last car I had, there's another. Last car I had was another Toyota Camry, slightly more recent version, and it broke down on North Beach Road, kind of near the top of it, where it heads over towards the Orcas Center. So right there, it breaks down, and I'm like, geez. Well, it's midnight, so what are we gonna do? My buddy Alex lives down that road, so we go, let's just push it to your place, and we'll figure it out in the morning. So we get out, and we start pushing, and that's a real lightweight car. And it starts scooting along, and we're pushing, and we're like, hey, this is really awesome. This is working, this is easy. This is really easy. Okay, sweet. And we hopped up onto the back of it. And we're sitting there like, this is sweet. Who's driving? And that's how I learned how to run in heels. I got an old joke, but I felt I'd resurrect it in honor of Bob being here. The drones begin. Okay. So many memories growing up. One of my favorite memories was Sesame Street. And then I heard a rumor one day that the Cookie Monster had been turned into the health food monster. It was just a rumor, but it got me thinking, what was that episode like? One day I turned on Saturday morning TV, PBS. Kermit the Frog here. Welcome to Sesame Street. Today's letter is C for cookie. Today's number is 64. For the amount of cookies Cookie Monster has eaten today. Cookie Monster, this is an intervention. Kids, can you spell intervention? Of course you can't. It's not easy being green, but sometimes I must make fun of you. What do you think? I'm a frog. And I croak. Cookie Monster, we feel if you don't change your dietary habits, you will get diabetes. And you might die. And we can't have that on Sesame Street. Kids already don't know how to get to Sesame Street, although they tell us we do. But if you weren't here when they got here, you'd just be a mess. So, Cookie Monster, we think we need to inform about diabetes for the kids. Count, can you tell Cookie Monster about his condition? Your blood sugar level is 1,000 milligrams, 2,000 milligrams, 3,000 milligrams. That's a problem. You don't deal with that. We not cut off your feet. And we don't have it on, well, I guess we could. The friends under the table. We don't want that. Jeez, guys. Why didn't realize that C is for cookie, and it's good enough for me. It's not good enough for me. In fact, it's not good, very good at all. I got a little weight over the window, and I need to trim down. And in order to do that,
I'm going to go to rehab. I always wanted to. I wanted to meet celebrities like Lindsay Lohan or Robert Downey Jr. I'm not even Iron Man. It's the man that I always wanted to be. So I will say goodbye to all of you here at Sesame Street to go to that day. Goodbye, Elmo. Goodbye, Kermit. Goodbye, Big Bird. Goodbye. Where's Big Bird? I'm trying to say goodbye to Big Bird.
Big Bird couldn't be here today. He's out sick with the flu. A Big Bird flu.